Hello, boys and girls. Gather around because it's time for Storytime with Auntie Marybeth. So go, call your brothers, call your sisters, call the neighbors, call your friends. Because today I am taking you on a journey to the green hills of Boland, where the Udara tree hangs with beautiful fruits, and the sand on the ground is red and soft to the feet. Today, I'm taking you to the land of Umuagu, where the birds dance in the palm tree and the people wear peaceful. This story is about Nneka, the girl who wasn't very good to her friends. Once upon a time in Umuagu land, Nneka lived with her parents, and she had two beautiful friends who loved her very much. But one by one, Nneka treated her friends badly. First, it was Chioma. Chioma, the lovely Chioma that everyone knew, was very kind and very respectful. One day, Chioma came to Nneka's house to visit her and to play the 10-10 game with her around the house. She came with a beautiful red coral bracelet that her grandma gave her when she was alive. Immediately, Nneka saw the beads in Chioma's hand. She pulled at it, and Chioma was like, no, don't do that. This is very important. I love this, and Grandma gave it to me. Don't tug at it like that. But Nneka wouldn't listen. She pulled at it disrespectfully, and the bead broke. Chioma started to cry because those beads were very precious to her. What would Nneka say? What is wrong with you? Is it not just a bead? You can get another one, my friend, for being a baby. Chioma cried and cried a little more, and then she cleaned her eyes, picked her beads one after the other, and then said, "You are not a very good friend, and there is no need wasting time being with you if you cannot even respect what is precious to me." So Chioma went away. You would think Nneka had learned her lesson, but no. One hot afternoon, while Nneka was playing with her friend Chiamaka, that everybody knew to be very generous, Chiamaka would bring her roasted plantain and roasted corn, and she would share it with all of her friends, including Nneka. Now on this day, while they were playing, Chiamaka mistakenly dropped her beautiful clay water bottle, fell on the ground and shattered. She was so pained, but she was more thirsty than she was pained about the water bottle. So she turned to her dear friend Nneka and said, "Please, can I have a drink of water?" But Nneka turned and said, "Me, I'm very thirsty. You should have been more careful with your water bottle now." And then she drank every drop of water from her bottle and turned to Chiamaka and said, "As I said, you should have been more careful. Me, I was thirsty." Chiamaka was so heartbroken because she realized Nneka only took from people, was never ready to share. So that day, she walked away, knowing that Nneka wasn't a good friend. Another time, it was Solomto Chukwu. who was playing with the other girls and Nneka under the beautiful new moon. Solomto all of a sudden became very sad. And Nneka went to her. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And Solomto decided to confide in her friend. And she told her, looks like I won't be able to come to school again because my daddy is not feeling too well. And so there is no money to send me to school. So my parents have agreed that I will have to stay at home for some time until they have enough money to send me back to school. And so the next day, when the girls and all the children were ready to go to school, they stood outside and Tochi called out, Salom Tochukwu, it's time to go to school. Don't make us late. What would Nneka do? She turned to the other girls and said, we better not waste our time around here. Solomto cannot come to school. Her father does not have money to train her anymore. Let's go. Solomto heard this, and this hurt so badly. She cried and cried and cried until her mother had to come and console her. It's okay, my daughter. Next time, you will learn not to speak to people that you cannot trust. And that day, Solomto Chukwu decided that Nneka was not a good friend, and so she was no longer going to be a friend. And lastly, it was Ifeoma, the playful Ifeoma. Ifeoma and Nneka decided to play the Egungun game, where they would dance and dance and dance, and then one person would go and hide while the other person searched for her. And so every time it was time for Ifeoma to hide, Nneka would refuse. Another turn, please, I want another turn. Ifeoma will allow her have another turn, and Ifeoma will search all around the compound and all around, everywhere for Nneka. But every time he got to Ifeoma's turn again, Nneka will refuse. One more time, she will say. And so, at some point, Ifeoma was tired. She was tired of being treated as if she didn't know how to stand up for herself. And so she turned to Nneka and said, enough, Nneka. Everything is about you. Everything is about you all the time. If you cannot take turns and you cannot respect other people's time and other people's turn, then we shouldn't be playing together. And so Ifeoma carried herself and left. So after that day, Nneka lost all 4 of her friends. The next day, she sat down in her compound all alone because none of the girls would come and play with her anymore because they realized that she was unkind. She didn't keep other people's secrets safe. She was selfish and she didn't know how to take turns. And so her mom saw her sitting under the udara tree. And her mom went over to her. What happened to you, Nneka? I could see you very sad. And Nneka said to mommy, nobody wants to be my friend anymore. And she told her what she did to the other girls. And her mom turned to her and said to her, now you see. All of your friends have decided to leave you because you were not kind to them. And her mom taught her 4 lessons that day. Number 1, goodness is a seed. if you sow harsh words in other people's lives, it'll come back to you. So be gentle with other people. Be kind to other people. Number 2, protect sacred trust. When your friend leaves a secret with you, guard it with all of your hearts. Because if you don't, they will lose trust in you. And trust is important for every friendship. Number 3, sharing brings joy. Share what you have with your friends. It cannot be me all the time. Learn to share, especially when you receive from others. There is no friendship without kindness. There is no friendship without sharing. Number 4, patience. Very important in every relationship. And then you must learn to say sorry. A proud heart will break every relationship. A proud heart will destroy every bond. So my daughter, learn to be sorry and learn to say ndo when you are wrong with your friends. Now, what are you going to do? Nneka looked up and turned and looked down and turned and said, I will go back and apologize to my friends. And so the next day, she roasted some corn and got some coconuts, put them in a bag. And then she went and weaved a bracelet and put it in her bag. And then went over to her friend. One by one, she visited them and told them how sorry she really was for all that she did. And so they shared some corn and shared some coconuts together, and she handed each of them her woven bracelets, and she called them a friendship band. And so her friends were kind to forgive her, because true friendship forgives. True friends forgive each other. And so Nneka learned never to be unkind to her friends again. The end of our story. All right, boys and girls, I am sure you have learned something about friendship, kindness, and how to treat other people in this story. So I want you to share with your parents and your family the lessons that you have learned. You can even put some in the comments so that we can also learn from you. Until I come your way again in the next episode of Storytime with Auntie Marybeth. It's bye for now. Bye.